Yo, as you can obviously tell, this isn't a weekly vlog, so I'm just gonna like, I just want to go ahead and bring this up real quick. I don't like guns. I am not a fan of guns. Uh, One of the big reasons why I don't like guns is because I'm black, and when you're black and you live in America and you're poor, you basically kind of get an agenda pushed at you that your life is going to be crime, guns, and drugs. That's basically all it is. You never. It's like every so now. Granted, it can be countered with, college and college, but most of the time is either it's once again you got drugs, guns, you know, violence, or college. So if you don't do well in college, then guess what the agenda is throwing at you. You know, growing up and like growing up black and growing up poor and growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in, if like I didn't do that well in college, so I was kind of forced to, I'm forced to do what I need to do to survive out here. And living in the hood, you always hearing gunshots. Guns have never really from a scientific standpoint, you got the mechanics of it, you got the engineering that's behind it, you have the history that's involved with it, you have all of these things that kind of gets connected to a gun. You know what I'm saying? That is cool to me. You know what I'm saying? But the gun itself and just shooting other people, no, it's just weird to me. And the big reason, and it's very stressful. I think the thing that also kind of stresses me out about being a black man in America is that when you're told that you're gonna either live by the gun or die by the gun, you never truly know who's gonna be the one that shoots you. You know, like that's the part that always stresses me out. Is like on the off chance that I do get shot to death, I don't know if it's going to be a racist police officer or just another black dude. And I want to go ahead and just take this time to point out real quick. I love black people. I don't think I have it in me to just want to shoot another black person. Especially with everything that's going around in America right now, it just really stresses me out that this is happening. Another thing that's stressing me out now is just yeah, the news about takeoff, the news about the rapid takeoff. It's not that different from the news about Pop Smoke, Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle. That I forgot his name. He used to have brown hair on one side and black hair on the other, and he had this squint on his face. I forgot his name. I never heard one song of his. But the fact of the matter is that we kind of are now, it's it's kind of scary because of the fact that what's scary to me is not necessarily that these people are getting shot to death. It's the fact that now there's an expected response to everything, and the expected response is always kind of falls into the narrative of people die every day, bruh. He shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have. He should have checked his circle a little bit better. He should have got security. Victim blaming, or say your prayer. Say your prayers for his family and shut up about the actual problems in the community that leads to this sort of thing. It's just I feel like maybe, like I said, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because I'm naive or whatever. It's just that I feel like as black people, with everything that's going around the nation, with all the races that want to try to haul us off into prisons so they could make us slaves again, with all that going on, it just strikes me as awkward and awful and weird that there's still a thought in some people's heads to shoot other black people. How can you with everything that's going on? How can you think this way about your own people? You know, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I grew up bullied mercilessly by other black people. Mercilessly, we were too poor. I was too poor to hang out with to go to the places where the rich kids were or where the white kids were, or any of that stuff. I was too poor. I was too uneducated. I didn't have anything going on. I couldn't go to that side of the tracks. I had to live in a side of the tracks that was marginalized and dirty and all these other things. And these kids and the black kids used to mock me mercilessly. I wore glasses. I was shorter. I had a bigger head. I was poor, so I wore high water pants. anything that they could find, they would just pick at me and pick at me and pick at me to a point where I just said I wanted to hurt these people so badly. Only to realize I can't. So one day I just sat down and I just said, you know what? I can't hurt these people, so I'm not going to try to. All I'm going to try to do is just fight evil with love. You know what I'm saying? If I can't get these people to like me, I'm going to at least like them. If I can't get these people to like, if I can't get these people to treat me with respect, I'm going to at least treat them with respect, or just leave them alone. I'm going to provide them with an opportunity to like at least see me and say, hey, this dude is either treating people with respect or leaving people alone. You know, maybe I should try that. You know, I want to just at least lead by example. And if I can't lead by example, so what? On one hand, either I'm leading by example and motivating a positive change in my community, or I'm just doing something to prevent myself from getting hurt. You know? Because you can always just respond to fire by fighting with fire, and all you're going to do is just burn everything down. But you respond with water, everything is extinguished and cool, man. Shoot. It just really trips me out that, like, you know, it's gotten so bad that people just be like, you know, I feel like I need to bring my gun everywhere. Like, why? That's the reason why I don't like guns. They're overhyped. They're unnecessary. Imagine going to a 9-year-old's birthday party and somebody says, okay, I got my wallet, I got my cell phone, or I got my car keys, my gun. I better go get that. No. Why? Why do you need a gun at a 9-year-old's birthday party? Why do you need a gun at a dice game? Why you need a gun at places? Why you need a gun to go to the club? Why do you need a gun to go to a place where there's going to be multiple people at? If nobody in that building has a gun, then you have a gun, you're the most dangerous person in that area. This past weekend, I went to 2 events. I went to Anime Weekend Atlanta, and I went to a wrestling event called Battle Slam, which, by the way, great top tier company, but that's another discussion. And on one hand, I'm having a good time. I'm loving everything that's going on. I'm seeing things. I'm loving things. I'm happy to just be out of the house and not having to work. And on the other hand, I'm just thinking to myself, I just hope that nobody shoots up this place. I hope that nothing happens. I hope that nobody gets shot. I hope that nobody does these things. And it's stressing me out how that is a concept now. It's stressing me out how that's a thought now. I'm at an anime convention surrounded by people in costumes with their fake weapons and their cool armor and their awesome cosplays, and that, you know, some people, you know, clearly been like some people been working out. You could tell. And all I could think is, and there's an inkling of thought in my head, surrounded by all of these people who partake in fictional communities, and there's a little inkling in my head that's going, I hope that nobody shoots this place up. You have any idea how crazy that is to be at an anime convention and think that way? To be at a wrestling event and think that way? To go to Walmart and think that way? It's unbelievable. It's sickening. I don't like guns. Like I say, there's so much cool stuff that you can. There's so much cool stuff about guns too. Like you can take apart a gun and look at every single part, and there's something like there's stuff about combustion in them. There's a concept of a heaviness. Everything is specifically makes sense about the gun. The from the metals being used to the sizes of the bullets to the level of combustion that's actually used when to shoot the thing, and all these other things. There's so much that goes into it. And then there's history behind guns. You know, where did they come from? How did they become created? Who was the first person to manufacture these things? There's so much there's so much more about guns that I feel like if you knew more about guns, I feel like there would be a lot less cool and more or less educational. And I feel like people wouldn't be like, I'm going to go just shoot somebody I don't like with these. Because that's all it is for some folks. It's just a weapon to take down people that you don't like. Children. You give a gun to a kid, they're not going to care about all that. They're just going to go up to somebody and say, bang, bang, you dead. And now you got adults thinking that way. I lost friends to gun violence. I lost family members to gun violence. I've known people who have died due to gun violence, and it's not great. And I can't look at, and I can't think to myself, oh, I should go get a gun and shoot these people. Because, growing up bullied, you learn that you can't hurt bad people. All you can do is get them angry enough to want to hurt you even worse. I don't know where I was going with this. I just know that as long as I'm breathing air, I'm not going to try to go out and take another black person's life. It's just not in me. I'll mock them. I will have a discussion with them and try to make them admit that they're dumb. I will do Socratic questioning. But it will never be in me to look at another black person and say, man, if I had a gun, I'd shoot that dude. And I can't, in good conscience, say that any black person who wants to shoot someone else, shoot another black person with everything that's going on, I can't, in good conscience, just call those people black anymore. I can't even call them the N-word. I'm going to call them painted on, because any black person that could look at another black person and be okay with the idea of killing that black person, that's just a white supremacist with blackness painted on their skin to me. So I'm sorry that a painted person took away Takeoff. I'm sorry that a painted person, took away Nipsey Hussle. I'm sorry that a painted person took away Tupac Shakur. I'm sorry that a painted person took away Notorious B.I.G. But I'm not sorry about not liking guns. We really do need to stop making guns seem like they're cool. And we really need to stop appealing to the childishness of bang bang, you're dead, guns are cool. We need to start being more mature about the things that we do, and we need to start having more conversations about things that we shouldn't do. It's gonna break a lot of people's hearts. It's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. People are going to be upset because they don't want to have these conversations. Nobody wants to say that this is a problem, because not every black person is like this, which is true. But if something is bad, if something is bad enough that one time is enough for it to happen, what are we supposed to do about the other 99 times that it happens? If America starts nuclear bombing about a good 4 other countries, are we just supposed to just say, well, not every American wanted nuclear bombs? Or do we try to stop people from using nukes irresponsibly? When are we going to just start saying, this is bad, stop it? This is bad. Stop it.